Welcome to the MLB Prop Pick Show, powered by the Bat X. I'm your host, John Metler. We got Jingles in today on vacation. He messaged me yesterday. He's like, "Can I join the show even though I'm not working tomorrow because I have some thoughts on the Home Run Derby?" And obviously the answer is always yes. If you have thoughts and you have bets, welcome to the show, Jingles. On your day off, you want to give out some Home Run Derby bets here. We'll say hi to the chat here. Yo, Reed Phillips, what's up? Morning all to JPC 4th. Jingles, how's your day going so far?
Kids sent the kids to camp and I forgot to bring them water, outdoor camp. So they're going to die. And after this, I have to drive 30 minutes to go deliver the water without letting my wife know that I forgot to give them some water. That's where it goes today, but it's Derby day. I mean, this is what the quietest week in sports, right? The Wednesday, the Thursday, literally nothing going on. That's a kind of gear up for the NFL season, but there's a lot to look at. Acuna out. There's lots of young blood in this, but I think we're both on the same page in terms of who we want to win this, especially at the price.
Yeah. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. When you're talking about this being the quietest time in sports period, I actually, 5 years ago, I got married, and when we were planning the wedding, I tried to get married on MLB All-Star break without saying why I wanted to get married on MLB All-Star break. Because I was like, every year your anniversary comes up and there'll be absolutely no sports on. And it'll be perfect. So didn't happen. We got married in October, but
yeah, it's a tough sell getting your wife to get married in the hottest week of the year.
She's like, I want a fall wedding. And I was like, oh, MLB All-Star break though. They would line up perfectly for everything. So we got the Derby tonight. Let's get into it. I'm just going to quickly run over the rules. They are the same as last year, but just in case you don't know. So first round is 3 minutes or 40 pitches. And then you get a bonus period. And it's 3 outs, but if you hit one over 425 feet, you get a 4th out. And then the top 4 scores from the first round, they move on to the semifinals. It goes 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. That's 2 minutes or 27 pitches, whatever comes first. And then the winners of those go to the finals. It's the same thing, 2 minutes or 27 pitches. So when I look at that, I feel like there's a lot of things I value when I was kind of breaking this down. One of them was, I think for sure, is who's throwing the ball to these guys. Because it's one of those factors you always look at, the person swinging the bat. You have all these stats on these MLB players, but then you see other scenarios where, like remember Robinson Cano's dad just comes in, he's just throwing it right down the middle and Cano's cranking them. I feel like sometimes the pitcher can be a big factor in this. And when you're talking about 3 minutes or 40 pitches, like remember a long time ago it was like 10 outs and they could just take pitches. You can't take pitches now, right? So the pitcher kind of plays. So I'm just going to run through here. I got who's pitching to each person. Jingles, you can jump in at any moment if you have something to say about that.
Live reactions.
The favorite in the market is Cal Raleigh, obviously 38 homers on the year. His dad is going to be the one throwing to him, Todd Raleigh, and I believe his brother is catching behind him. So it's going to be a whole family affair here. That's one of those you don't really know. Like we were talking about with Robinson Cano's dad, people kind of are nervous that it's Cal Raleigh's dad, but at the same time, Cal Raleigh's dad has probably thrown more BP to his son than anyone. So
Cal Raleigh is in the major leagues. Cal Raleigh is the number 2 betting favorite for the AL MVP. Cal Raleigh's dad probably threw a few balls to his son growing up. I'm sure the old man knows how to do it. And I don't know, this is totally subjective, but like in a spot where it's like, okay, here's like my high school pitching coach versus like, here's my dad. I have to give the edge to the dad just to like step up and be like, okay, I gotta do this for my son. I got my other son catching. I think there's more pressure on him, which might sound like a bad thing, but I think he has so many reps and it's just such an easy thing. And I don't think it's going to be big, bright lights for old Todd.
I think the thing that stood out to me with Cal Raleigh too was because he's a switch hitter and he's mashing left-handed pitching, but so which way is he going to swing, right? Because Truist Park at the left-handed, it favors left-handed batters, but he's technically better from the right side, so that's kind of interesting too.
Do we have discrepancies? I have that Truist Park is better for top 10 park for right-handed hitters. It's longer down the left field line, right field shorter, but the wall's bigger. And the way that the elevation works, I don't know. It says what I saw was the other way.
I think for home runs, it's better for lefts for ballpark factors. Depends what years you're looking at. I think this year it played better to lefts.
Okay. Prez is saying Chat GPT. That's where I got my information. So blame Chat GPT. Said top 5. Truist Park, EV Analytics has it as the bottom 7 home run park, which was actually quite surprising. I thought it would be somewhere in the top 10. It isn't. But yeah, a little shorter right porch, longer left porch, but the wall's bigger and right.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next guy here. So O'Neal Cruz, the guy thrown at him is Steven Morales, Pirates assistant coach, throws him BP. There was a video on Twitter of them practicing the other day. So I think that's pretty generic, like what you'd expect. O'Neal Cruz did leave Saturday's game with, I believe, a hip injury, and then he pinch hit on Saturday or on Sunday, didn't start. I think he's still going today. There's nobody's come out and said he's not going to be in the home run derby. So that's also something just to look at.
I think that affects, like, in terms of maybe kind of banged up, maybe the first round adrenaline. We've seen it in former derbies where semifinals and especially the finals, like the gas just totally runs out and you're absolutely out of it. So maybe more O'Neal in the first round than late, but as opposed to his pitcher, let's be honest, the BP pitcher is not going to win them the derby, but the BP pitcher could certainly lose them the derby.
Yeah, if he gets the yips. James Wood, the next guy, Ricky Gutierrez, Nats third base coach, throws him BP. So again, just another coach. I don't think James Wood, because this is his second year when I was looking up, I don't think he's even played at Truist Park, which is weird because they're in the same division. I was like, that's kind of strange. I don't know if I just missed that incorrectly. Byron Buxton, it'll be Tommy Watkins, Twins third base coach. He's been there since 2019 with Byron Buxton. That's a long time. I mean, they've both been there for a long time. He throws in BP as well. They also, I guess, were kind of connected in the minors when the coach was in the minors and Byron Buxton was in the minors. So they have a long history together. The next one, this is the one that I think scared you when you're talking about earlier, like the high school coach. Brent Rooker is going with Joe Caruso, who is his hitting coach through high school. That's the one that you're kind of like, especially since Brent Rooker already plays in like a pretty like homer friendly ballpark, and now you're moving him to Truist Park. That one scares me. Junior Caminero, it's gonna be Tomas Francisco, Rays coach. He threw to a Rose Arena in the home run derby 2 years ago, I believe, and a Rose Arena went to, I want to say, the finals. That kind of stands out because I think he's the only person who's pitched in this event before. So, but Junior Caminero is young as well. Last one, Jazz Chisholm Jr. It's going to be his stepdad. Stepdad's throwing him BP. His stepdad actually threw him BP in a home run derby in the Bahamas a couple of years ago. So I guess it's not their first time together.
As long as he doesn't have to play defense, he'll be okay.
Yeah, so I guess that's their first time together. So those are the coaches. We actually
the one that stands out is high school pitching or high school coach, but like he could be the same guy that's training him all winter long too, right? Yeah. The chances of a pitching coach really throwing the game for you, losing it for you, probably slim, but Raleigh and that one are probably the only two that really stand out of the guys who are not professional. But who knows, man? Like some third base coach could get on that stage and get the yips too.
Yeah, I know. Byron Buxton said he was working with the coach about specifically like where he wants the ball. I'm sure they've all been doing that. I'd say the one that stands out, probably the biggest edge, is the guy who threw to a Rose Arena, Junior Caminero's guy on the Rays there, just because he's been there, done that, been on the stage, and Rose Arena went to the finals, so he's obviously did a pretty good job and stuff.
So in saying that, Matt Olson, second home run competition, you think he's ready to move on to the second round, maybe to the finals?
The Matt Olson thing, the thing that bothers me about Matt Olson is I feel like because it was supposed to be Ronald Acuna Jr., it makes you think that, you know, he got injured, he can't do it. They need a hometown guy. I'm not sure Matt Olson even really wanted to do this. So that's kind of, I mean, obviously you're an athlete, you're going to go out there and you're going to compete, but
you had a day off. Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I, like, in terms of like, could he advance? Yes. Could he maybe go over his total? Yes. Could he win the whole thing? I don't know. He also, so when you're talking about that first round bonus, and you hit one over 425, you get a fourth out. When I looked it up, Matt Olson this year, 17 home runs, 4 no-doubters, which would be a homer in every single ballpark. That was the lowest percentage of any player. So in terms of maybe getting that bonus, like he's not hitting the ball really far this year. I mean, it is a home run derby. They're trying to serve him up to you, but just something to kind of look at. So yeah.
He might only get one plate appearance. If we're looking, we'll talk about it tomorrow when we're talking about the All-Star game. There's a weird situation that I was trying to look at. Because who's starting it? Why am I so dumb? It's Pete Alonso and Matt Olson are the reserves, and Freddie Freeman is the starter. And those guys only play that position. So they have to go, like, there's probably only 4 plate appearances between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
So it's probably someone you won't want to look at. And if Matt Olson's sitting here in the home run derby, then he might be the guy getting 1 plate appearance tomorrow.
I'll ask you tomorrow. I was going to ask you about the Brewers pitcher, what you thought about him being an all-star, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Home run derby. We both have 2 picks. We both actually landed on the exact same person for who's going to win. So I'm interested to see what Jingles' breakdown is because we didn't really talk about it before. You can go first, Jingles. Who's going to win the home run derby?
Byron Buxton. That was my first guess right away. And then he got hit on the hand, and then I got very scared. But then he's back. And the only thing, and someone already said it in the chat, Byron Buxton is so injury prone that he could whiff and hurt himself. But when Byron Buxton is healthy, which he is right now, he's a top 5 offensive player in baseball. I was thinking about AL, but he could be a top 5 player in baseball. Just came off that cycle. And if you saw that off-speed pitch that he hit to dead center field when he needed the home run, that was a 3/4 swing. This guy has a 370-foot home run already this year, second longest in MLB. Number 1 on this entire list, and I'm probably just stealing all Metler's talking points here. Number 1 in no doubters by a substantial amount, like 75%, 76%, Rooker 35%, Raleigh 42%, Wood 54%, Caminero 43%, Cruz 68%. But the injury, you kind of worry there. Jazz 35%, and you mentioned Matt Olson at 23% in the worst spot. His athleticism, his ability to hit far, and his ability, and steal another talking point, to be a vet and not to be overwhelmed by what is not his first all-star appearance in this spot. There's a lot to like. And then at the end of the day, the most important thing, John, plus 900.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Kelly, we're screwed. I'm on Buxton too. Well, I did see the majority of the money is on Cal Raleigh, so we're not totally, maybe we're all on Buxton. I'm taking Byron Buxton too. Like you said, the most important thing, plus 900. When I was kind of going through this, I was looking to value someone who I think can get the bonus, hit the ball really far. You brought it up. The no doubters. He leads this group. He has 21 home runs. Yeah, 21 home runs on the year. 16 of them are no doubters. That's crazy. It's 76%, the highest percentage of anyone in the field. So you have the power. The one thing that also stood out to me when you're talking about like the ballpark factor. So he has 21 home runs on the year. Truist Park's not a great home run hitting park, but his expected home runs this year at Truist Park is actually 1 higher. It's 22. So that kind of stood out too. You're like, okay, maybe the ballpark doesn't bother him as much as it will other guys. I do feel like a lot of the players feel like the odds are favoring the left-handed bats. You see, O'Neal Cruz is up there as a favorite. Cal Raleigh's up there as shorter odds. James Wood is up there at pretty short odds too. I feel like the right-handed guys are kind of getting faded. So like you said, plus 900, that really stood out. I feel like kind of going against that, the left-handers might have an easier time hitting home runs. Then you just start stacking things together. Like you said, hit for the cycle, had 2 hits yesterday. He's red hot. He's one of the best hitters in baseball when he's healthy, and he does look healthy right now. This is his 11th season in Major League Baseball. This is kind of more for like the younger guys to like build their name, get Instagram followers, all those things. If you're doing this in your 11th season, you're doing this to win. You're not just showing up for fun. That's my opinion, at least. And he was also, when you're talking about stacking things together, he was born in the state of Georgia. So I feel like that also kind of plays. Yeah.
And it's his bobblehead day. His bobblehead day was actually the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I just feel like there's so many things like, he can hit the ball far. He can get the bonus. The ballpark doesn't seem to bother him. All those things, you start stacking them all together. The third base coach who's throwing to him, they've both been in this with the Twins since 2019. That's a long time that you're working together. So there you go. Buxton plus 950 on DK, plus 1425 with a 15% boost. That is a great price. So we're both on Byron Buxton here to win plus 900. Jingles, you have another bet for the first round. You want to break this one down?
The niche markets are interesting. There we go. First round under 154.5 home runs. I know it's like a big number and it kind of loses its luster in terms of the excitement ROI as you're trying to count 154. But this is a big number. Last year, only 128 home runs hit. And that was the first year with these rules after madness the year before in Seattle. And that included 6 home runs in bonus from Teoscar, who, I mean, if you want to go to that narrative that John was talking about with Buxton, you're talking about a veteran who just is in here to win it. Boom. Teoscar last year, Buxton this year. Don't mind that. But 154.5. There is a lot of young blood in this home run competition. We saw it last year with Gunnar Henderson. Like, if guys get out to bad starts, there's a chance that you're getting 11. There's a chance that you're getting 12 that could absolutely sink this. You're not going to go out there and put up 40. So, like, you're not really going to, if you're looking at the distribution of this, you're not really going to crush it that much. I think the best that you can do in these guys is somewhere around 2 pitches per home run. They're getting 40. They'll get a bit more. So you're seeing like 21. I don't think there'll certainly be fewer 20s than 20s, but there could be some absolute stinkers in this, right? Just in some of the names that you could see, like Matt Olson. How much do we really think? Wood and Cruz. So we're talking some young guys who haven't really been in this spotlight in terms of an all-star game with all eyes on you. When we saw guys like Vladimir Guerrero, like that's a guy who knew how to be in the lights. I'm not saying that these guys can't, but Cal Raleigh, like, I'm pretty sure he's more worried about what he's doing on the field right now. You always worry about maybe a change of swing for a home run competition, whether he wants to do it. Rooker, he did open it like plus 1,200. He's moved down into that minus or plus 850 range, but again, no doubter numbers pretty low. Caminero could have a blow up. So I think in the range of outcomes, there's more potential for absolute dud rounds of the 11, the 12s, and the 13s than there is for like the 23s, 24s, and 25s.
Yeah, you brought up Caminero and Rooker. Those are two guys who play in like quite literally minor league ballparks.
Yes.
That give up home runs. So when you're talking about like moving to Truist Park, that's a pretty drastic swing from playing in Sacramento, playing in Tampa Bay there, moving to that ballpark. I mean, they have a bunch of home runs on the year. It looks good on paper, but you know what I mean? It's not.
Like Pete Alonso had 14 last year, and he was a betting favorite, didn't even make it out of the first round.
Yeah. So I have one more bet here. And Mr. Gerg saying in the chat here, no way Jazz is winning this. I agree he won't win. But I'm going to take him to reach the semifinal, plus 172. I mean, I guess maybe he could win. There's a couple of things that stood out to me here. So, obviously the price. He's the longest price in the field. If he wasn't, then I probably wouldn't start looking at this. But actually, what really popped to me is you look at, Jazz Chisholm, you think of Yankee Stadium, the short porch, left-handed hitter. You're like, will the home runs play? He has 17 on the year. His expected home runs in Truist Park is actually 20, which I really stood out to me. I was like, wow, that's crazy, because you would think it'd be way less. Because a couple guys, it is less. You think it'd be way less because of Yankee Stadium, but it's not. So maybe the left-handed bat plays in this ballpark. The other thing that really grabbed my attention, I actually went back and I watched his home run derby on YouTube in the Bahamas. It was pretty crazy. He was hitting it into the water. Guys are getting the balls on jet skis. It was something different. So his stepdad was throwing it to him there. There wasn't much hiccup. Like, it was just like pitch, boom, pitch, boom. So I like that. But he also, he was lifting his right foot, so it was elevated in the air, and then he was like turning and burning on everything. And the announcers literally said, this is his like home run derby swing. And I was like, that kind of grabs my attention when you're like, have a different swing to launch balls. I also feel like when you're talking about like the pressure of the spotlight, he plays in New York. He is going to meet the moment. He's one of those guys who is just excited for big crowds. So plus 172. I'm going to take it to reach the semifinal. I don't think he can win.
The alien's scary, Johnny. The alien's scary because he's maybe baseball that old school people absolutely hate, right? Like, he's all flash.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that he probably wants to do well in, and he wants that spotlight and he wants those lights. So plus 172, I know, just trying to find and like convince yourself of why you can take the longest odds on what is almost a crapshoot sometimes to make that top four. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's just top four. I don't think he can win, but in terms of to just get in the top 4 of 8, like you said, like one or two guys could have a hiccup with their pitching coach, knocks a couple guys out. And yeah, I'm honestly, Jingles, my biggest concern with him is he's going to hit a home run and he's going to celebrate, and he's not going to swing fast enough in the 3 minutes.
Stop it. No, he's not going to sit there and watch his home runs fly.
I don't know. That's my biggest concern with him. So I was like, hopefully he just keeps cranking them out. But yeah, when I was watching the thing in the Bahamas, I was like, all right, it was really the swing that really broke down for him. Like, if he has a different swing for launching home runs in a derby that he knows doesn't play against real pitching, I was like, all right, you have my attention.
I'm listening. Plus 172.
Yeah. All right, so I'm taking Jazz Chisholm mixed semifinals plus 172. So we got 3 bets here. Me and Jingles are both on Byron Buxton to win the home run derby plus 900. He's also going under 154.5 home runs in the first round, minus 120.
I have some Buxton plus 380 to make the finals too. That's in the personal. That's in the.
So you're all in on Buxton.
No, plus 380 is a good number, especially when you get to the finals, and you'd hate to have plus 900 in the finals and then it's a coin flip at that point, right?
Where you're saying he was longer odds than Rooker? So
to make the finals, but I think Rooker's 50 points shorter than him, so it makes sense.
Okay. So there's that one as well, and then I'm also going Jazz Chisholm Jr. to make the semifinals plus 172. That was at FanDuel. I think there's about plus 150 most other spots I was looking at. So those are our 4 bets, I guess 3 bets, 4 bets for the Home Run Derby. This concludes the MLB Prop Pick Show, powered by the Bad X. One more thing.
All-Star game tomorrow, bud.
Yes, I was going to say All-Star game tomorrow. Me and Jingles will be on here as well for the All-Star game tomorrow, which will be very exciting. Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens. We should have seen it a couple weeks ago in Detroit, but we didn't.
Minus 140, no run first inning. I already looked at it. That's
yeah.
I don't know. That's it's either a home run,
solo home run.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's the market you're looking at in the All-Star game. Next home run, solo home run. But I'm really trying to dig into. It's always when you use more time to dig into something, it's usually least advantageous. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if I'm spending there 2 hours trying to figure out the lineup for the All-Star game because I think there's more value on replacement reserve players coming into a game in higher leverage moments, like we saw with Jared Durant last year, than starters who are priced shorter for MVP. I think I'm just gonna. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but I think I'm just gonna spray both teams' outfielders reserves and hopefully get something there.
Yeah, for MVP. All right, we will be back tomorrow. All-Star game, like you said, me and Jingles will be here. Thanks to the chat, everyone giving out their home run bets there in the chat as well. Thanks. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Mick, play a song.